Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and the Janets. I am Enzo, this is my forever co-host Jum. Today we talk about a recent live-action adaptation following The Last Airbender. This time we're talking about Netflix's Avatar, The Last Airbender.
And they finally use the name.
Alright? Starring a whole bunch of unknowns, which is great. Which is part of the Netflix tradition, like Stranger Things. So I hope these actors grow within their careers and continue doing this season, because to be honest, I'm giving my impression early. I did like this more than I thought I would.
Here, people would say, oh, it's a disappointment, and, I would see TikTok reviews, and they'll be like, no, I didn't do so well. It's not, it's not the greatest adaptation in the world, but, I would say it did a good job. It's not bad. I would say it's the equivalent to, or maybe a little less, but equivalent to the One Piece TV series.
Yeah. Like, watching this, I literally was like, I don't get the complaints, because I am, and at the very least, I am invested in these characters. Yeah. Once again, I am invested in the Team Avatar and Zuko and all the rest. I'm very happy with the results. But before going into what we like and maybe what we dislike, were you excited for this adaptation?
No. Because if I remember correctly, they had so many shit for Avatar: The Last Airbender, where they were like, "Oh, here's the live action version," and then there was test screenings for not test screenings. There's test footage for a 3D version, which I did not understand. I was like, "Why are you guys trying to revive something? Just make something new." I was more like, "Don't fix what isn't broken." Exactly what I said with in the Last Airbender review. And yeah, so I wasn't really as hyped as everybody else with this, but then yeah, they kind of showed the cast, and I was like, okay, the cast is pretty good. That's not that bad. And then there was some trailers for it, and I was like, okay, all right, I'm a little helped. Why not? And then, yeah, as soon as the show rolled in and first scene comes up, I was like,
what? Yeah, me too. I'm like, when they were cursing the Earthbender, I'm like, please God, don't make it crap. Please God.
Yeah, right? It didn't take 6 people to move a little pebble. It was just one dude, and it was gritty, and it was I don't want to say it's okay, it's a little adult.
Yeah.
But in the sense that it's a little violent.
Yeah. It's a little more graphic than the show. Sometimes I'm like, Jesus Christ, don't remember this in the show.
Yeah, this dude gets burnt alive, and I was like, oh my lord.
Yeah.
And I love how they do the earthbending, and you do see a little bit of solid kung fu. Again, yeah. No wasted movements here and there. With every punch, there is an effect.
Yeah.
And I love that. And this guy is legit pulling earth out of the ground. I was like, this is a solid opening. And then he gets burned alive, and I was like, cool.
I guess they're not holding back. I do like all of the actors, especially Team Avatar. Well, let's see. I love the actor for Aang, Gordon Comier, Katara's Kia Wentio Tarbell, and Sokka is Ian Osley. I am so sorry if I'm mispronouncing your names, but I like these actors, even though I don't know if you saw that article saying that one aspect of Sokka they're taking away is his sexism. You're like, so when he gets his ass handed to him by the Kyoshi warriors, what's the point? That the whole point of him is that.
Yeah, that's what I miss. Don't quote me on that.
I mean, that is part of his arc from being a sexist guy who cannot lead to being a leader who is equal to all. You're like, all right, that is an arc.
Yeah, which is weird because they do the exact same thing with a certain dude at the end of the series, where he's like, I don't want to train you because you're a girl. Girls are meant to be healers, not fighters.
Yeah.
I was like, why can't you do that for Sokka? You just have him have a little bit of remorse, oh, women can't do this, women can't do that, and then gets his ass handed to him by a Kyoshi warrior, and he sees his sister like doing very well, and then he gets exposed to very strong women
Yeah.
who can get shit done, thus giving him character development. Don't that's one thing I hate is like why y'all gotta restrict the character
Yeah.
of his development because you're afraid people might be like, oh, is he like this?
Yeah.
And I was like, didn't you watch the show?
Right? Or like,
You know?
there's a show for reference if you want to know. But
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, never mind.
I do like this trend of the show where it talks about the weight of expectations on you. Like the weight of everybody expecting Aang to be the Avatar, the weight of Sokka trying to be the leader, the weight on Katara trying to be the last of her kind to waterbend. And all these expectations are weighing heavy on them and they have to learn how to deal with that. And you're like, that's a common theme for the show. Even with Zuko, that his the expectation of him being the next in line to bring in the Avatar to stop the threat of the Fire Nation. And before we go on, where's the actor's name for Zuko? Where I can't find him. Dallas James Leo. My God, he feels like Zuko.
Ish. Not really. I say he makes his own kind of character with Zuko. Like he's his own Zuko. Like I'm sorry, but like I don't think anyone can top God, what's his name?
Dante Bosco.
Dante Bosco's performance as Zuko. No one can beat that. But yeah, I will say like a lot of the times when I was watching this, I was like, why is he acting like that? Why is he acting like a kid? I legit forgot. I was like, wait a minute.
That's so large.
That's the whole point. These kids aren't even past their like they're like 18 yet. They're not even 18 yet, and they're already tossed into this world. And I'm like, that makes sense. Forgot about that part. Like even Zuko, like I could have sworn this guy was a full blown man when he was in the show, but I was like, no, he was I think like a 16 or 15-year-old.
Yeah, Mister, bring me the Avatar. That's half of him, half the show. Like, that's the only thing he says, literally. But yeah, I do like how well paced most of the episodes are. Like, we talked about the movie where it's like you sat on the remote and you're like 20 speed. You're like, what's happening? Can't understand anything that's happening. Here it's nicely paced. Like most of the episodes, like even though my complaint is like, wow, there's a lot of exposition, like a lot, like a lot. Even it is nice when the grandma's like 100 Earth, Wind, and Fire, 100 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Earth, Wind, Fire.
Well,
100 years ago. The elements live in harmony, and everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked us. Like, you are pulling on my nostalgic heartstrings. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We're not gonna go through this,
Beat by beat.
Beat by beat, but we'll just be talking about like the things we liked and the things we didn't like. And I will say the things that I did like. There were many points where this show made me tear up and made me like a ball a bit. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And one of the scenes is was this General Iroh at his son's funeral.
Yeah.
When they're like when this like Earthbender is like, you know nothing about life. You've never lost a thing in your life.
Yeah.
You don't know what it feels like to have lost. And then we get into a flashback of him being in a funeral. He's grieving. And then, like, of course, being the Fire Lord Ozai and unsupportive brother and slash father.
Your son will be remembered.
He will be rejoiced as a hero.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, alright? And then he walks off. Same with Zuko. He's like, I want to be like my dad. And he's like, yeah, your son, it was an honor, and, like, for sure it was an honor to serve the Fire Nation.
Yeah.
And then Zuko, like, comes back and, like, has that realization. It's like, that's not what he needs. And he has this whole... Sorry?
He tells him exactly what he needs to hear at the moment. And when he says that, the song from the show, the music starts playing. You're like...
I was like, oh my god! Like, was this the little soldier boy song? And I was just like...
It's like, god damn it. I didn't
And
think.
then like the actor for General Iroh, he just tears up. Like he doesn't bawl, he just tears up. And for me, I was like, that speaks a
Yeah,
lot.
the actor Paul Sun Hyung Lee from Star Wars. You're like, God damn, you really feel like Iroh. Like,
Yeah,
we're just not saying like he's the best live action Iroh. Like, what examples do I have to come from? What other
yeah.
examples do I have?
Again, I love General Iroh here. Like he does an amazing job,
Yeah,
especially being somewhat no, not somewhat a father figure for Zuko.
yeah. The Speaking of the Fire Lord, there's things I like and things I dislike. Like him being sympathetic at before he burns his own son's eye out. Like he has a look of like, do I really want to do this? You're like, that's new, huh?
I didn't feel that. I really didn't. Like
He just felt like a piece of shit. Fucking burn your
no,
eye.
I feel like he was like, oh, I beat you. You're a disgrace. And he has that pause. He's like, but I have to teach you a lesson. I didn't feel like, oh, that's him hesitating. I feel like that's him like, oh, that's a good idea. Burn this boy.
I guess we'll see where the show goes. But the scene when he's like telling Zuko to rise and the actor just rips off his cape, you're like, I was like, I don't know, I find that funny. It's a bit overacting. It's like, Jesus. All right.
I like like the guy from The Good Doctor.
Daniel
As,
Day Kim. Yeah, he's a pretty
yeah,
good Ozai.
he's a really good Ozai.
Yeah.
I like him. Like he comes in, he's just like, well, like I disrespected a general. You didn't disrespect me. You disrespected my plan.
My
Yeah, and all
plan,
that.
my army. Stand up. You're like, oh, Jesus, this guy's buff.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna fucking do. And by the way, the bending looks great.
Yeah.
A little bit weird that Aang kind of flew a bit at the start, but I think that he was just gently falling, maybe pushing himself a little bit up, but not flying. People were kind of going crazy because that's supposed to be like this character's power in Legend of Korra. Yeah, there's this guy who like learned how to fly when a lot of airbenders don't know how to do that. And Aang kind of like does it a bit and then like lands down gently. I was like, I don't think that's flying. I think that's just gliding.
Yeah, just falling with style, you know?
Yeah.
Forgot, I had no idea Daniel, the guy from Community, was the mechanic. So when I saw him, I was like, what the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah. Abed.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck? What are you doing here? I like him as the mechanic. I also like, this time they didn't forget about poor Boomy. Like, they did him right too. You're like, Jesus, I forgot this character's supposed to be. You think he's like an old man, but then he removes his shirt. You're like, Jesus, you are jacked. Holy fuck.
Yeah. Which, again, another kind of scene that kind of did it very well is that Boomy goes on about, like, where the hell were you?
Yeah.
Like, they're supposed to be best friends. But it was like, he's already over 100
Yeah.
years old. And he was probably seen so much shit.
Yeah.
When clearly Aang was supposed to be the one responsible for making sure that shit doesn't happen. And you could, to your own interpretation, you can tell, like, oh, this guy been through some shit.
Yeah.
And he has a little bit of resentment towards Aang. He's just like, where the fuck were you?
Yeah. And he's like, why are you used to be fun? You used to be so carefree. And it's like, well, you haven't lived these 100 years where you're supposed to make decisions like who gets more food, the orphanage or the soldiers. Which occupied space should I worry about next? I've been making decisions like that for 100 years. Where the fuck were you? And why?
Yeah.
How dare you ask me why am I'm not the same like I used to be? Are you that fucking dense? Jesus, man.
Yeah, but at the same time, you kind of have to remember, he is not. Yeah, his friends and like his companions, they're all old and wise and gone through shit. He's still 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, like same here. I would love to be like mad at a certain person who's supposed to take responsibility, but at the same time, it kicks in where it's like he's still a kid.
Yeah. And like, I'm sorry, man. I forgot that You were frozen in ice for 100 years at the same age. Never age, to stay the same while the rest of us had to go through this 100-year war. Sucks to be both of us, right?
Yeah.
But I do love I do like the spirit episodes where they go to the spirit realm. I forget if in the show Sokka and Katara came along with Aang, the spirit realm. I forgot if that was a thing.
I forgot as well. I would like to rewatch that scene.
Yeah.
I remember the mod. That is weird though, because they didn't resolve that thing with the beast.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the four-armed thing. It like becomes a panda right after.
Yeah.
They didn't resolve that part. I think, did they? I don't know.
No, they didn't. They're just like, we'll just leave it be for now. And they're
Yeah.
like, okay, I guess that's not a problem right now.
And then there's like that spirit code that shot was fucking freaky.
Yeah. I felt bad when I met Gyoza again, and he's like, yeah, when I come back, we'll have more time to talk.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Gyoza is food.
Gyatso. Sorry, I fucked it up. Gyatso's like, yeah, we have enough time, but you can tell he's like, I ain't gonna be here when he comes back. Shit.
Oh yeah, like he's kind of pausing a bit. He's, yeah, I'll still be here. You know, I'll wait for you. And then he just like comes back. He's like nowhere to be found. I'm like, bah.
Yeah. I also forgot that Aang in the show, and like in the series, goes to the Fire Nation early. Because as a kid, I was like, we're going to the boss already? We're not even ready. Why?
Yeah, but he just needed to like talk to Avatar Roku for a bit.
Yeah. He also confronts the monks there. One of them is the guy from Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know if you noticed. He's the archery guy. He's the Sakai, I will teach you the ways of the bow. Yeah, that's the voice actor for him.
Okay.
Yeah. What else? Did you recognize the actress for Princess Yui? She is Amber Midhunter, the main lead of Prey. Do you not remember Prey? The Predator movie?
Right. Yeah, Predator movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit, that was her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Though the villain I do really like in this season at least is Commander Zhao, because you're like, it's not as shit talking as the movie, but at the same time,
Yeah.
you can tell he's undermining both Zuko and Arrow for his own sake, and you're like, I like the scheming. Bastard.
Yeah, he's very sleazy. He's
Yeah.
very like, you know, and like, yeah, he's not. He did like specify like, oh, I haven't been in many battles,
Yeah.
but that means I haven't had a lot of failures either.
Yeah, like,
And like,
unlike
okay.
you, Arrow, you're like, alright. He didn't say that, but
there's the shade. Yeah, there's the shade.
Yeah.
But yeah, but they see Uncle Arrows.
I do like the fact they're also developing Azula alongside Sokka for this season. Like, she's in behind the scenes manipulating forces so she can claim the throne because she finds Zuko so unworthy. You're like, I don't mind that. I rather much that than the lame after credit scenes of like, oh right, we have more movies after this, right? No, you don't.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I will say also Azula's pretty good. Elizabeth Yu, pretty good Azula.
Yeah.
I am impressed.
Yeah. There was a big controversy when it came to casting. When people were like, when they showed May, Tylee, and Azula. All I gotta say is, okay, I will agree. 2 out of the 3 don't really look the part. Tylee, she looks fine. May and Azula don't really look like their cartoon counterparts. And like it got a lot of people mad about it. I will agree. Sorry, they might not look like the part. Okay, not might. They don't look like the part. I feel like they could have casted somebody else. But are they doing a horrible job? No, they're doing the best that they can.
Yeah.
And please, as I said in the Avatar movie, the Last Airbender movie, don't bully these people just because they got casted.
Yeah.
Clearly, they're doing their job, and they're trying their best to do that job well. But yeah, it is a bit weird for the casting because May is supposed to be very sharp, like very lanky, tall, and sharp, which speaks a lot about her character, which is like she's a specialist in knives and all that. And I feel like Azula like I think she still does the part well, like
Yeah.
slightly. But does she look like Azula? Not really. But I kind of have to say the same thing about Zuko. He doesn't resemble Zuko all that much,
Hmm.
besides the scar, you know. But they do. They still do a like an okay job at it.
Yeah. The arc I do like for Zuko was the what do you call the arc where he has the mask and rescues Aang from Zhao?
The Blue Spirit.
Yeah. And he just
Yeah.
gets headshotted. That messed me up as a kid. I was like, oh, bad guys can be good. Jesus, I don't understand this. Why is Zuko doing this?
Character development.
Yeah.
And then like yeah, him and Aang have like a moment where they're like, oh, they can be buddy buddy, and then Zuko like snaps out of it and remembers like compassion is
For the weak.
weakness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I do like the present and past timelines when you see the flashbacks. Like it just develops these characters more. They obviously can tell. You can tell the show's like we can't do as many episodes as this original show, but what we can do is the flashbacks that fill in the role, like with Iroh and his son, and like Zuko
Actually,
being banned.
actually, they did the math.
Yeah.
First season of Avatar is the same length or less compared to the live action one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so weird.
Yeah.
So they're around the same length in time. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I, I'm just impressed with how well the show turned out to be. For me, at least, like I like it. Again, is it the best adaptation I've seen? Not really, but it's fun. I like it. Thank God the Battle of the Northern Water Tribe is much more impressive than the movie.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay. One thing I don't like about that one, that arc is for some reason Sokka and
Yui,
Princess Yue, like they just hit it off right off the bat. I was like, it was a little too quick,
right?
but okay. Like like they're making out while Aang's like meditating.
Yeah,
Um, Very weird. Like they met in the spirit world, and like I guess the man raised the or fox and just like hit it off from there.
right. And this show does show the stakes of when Zhao kills the moon spirit and the waterbenders are literally being fried to death. You're like, Jesus Christ, I didn't expect this. I didn't expect so
Yeah.
much death in this first season. Holy fuck. And then you see the
Yeah.
aftermath too. You're like, holy shit, I didn't expect the show to do this to Avatar. Like seeing their
Yeah.
bodies all fried up. Like, oh Jesus Christ.
I love the character. By the way, if you recognize the character for Zhao,
Hmm.
Rush Hour.
Oh yeah. Oh, did
Rush
you
Hour
know?
one, he was that guy.
You know? Did you see that article that say the actor for this Commander Zhao thought he was auditioning for James Cameron's Avatar, and then when they told him, he was like, "Ah, oops, my bad. All right, I'll be in this."
Well, I'm glad he stayed because he was such a great character.
Yeah.
They didn't show his. Did they show what happened to him?
To his body, yeah.
What happened to him?
He
I
got
think I missed it.
he got fried by Arrow. Like he was about to kill Zuko after he told Zuko like,
Oh, right. I was just yeah, just like burned him. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. I remember.
yeah. I do like the scene where they then skip over Aang becoming this kaiju of a bear, just lost looking for his partner. Like, holy fuck, he really
Yeah.
did miss out on
Dude.
this.
Like, they did not skip a beat when it came to like, oh shit, that's an angry spirit. Like it's not like PG where it like swats away some people. They're not that hurt. This motherfucker just like wham, like flipping a boat onto another boat, and you see little bits of people being flown off and flung into like the ocean
Right?
or off a wall. And I was like,
You're like,
I was like,
fuck.
I got a body count now.
Yeah,
Like say what you will, if that's like if that's the spirit or not. But the Aang's killing people.
right? Right. Jesus Christ. I do. Do you feel like the rivalry between Aang and Zuko, and then Zuko and Katara are being well built up? Because I feel like it's being
Mm.
paced fine.
With Aang and Zuko, yes. With Katara, no. I will say I am so sorry. I have to admit, Katara is a little
Yeah,
flat.
the writing for Qatar, you're like, again, I don't get why you speak in exposition. It's not as bad as the movie, but at the same
Oh no,
time, like,
at some point she doesn't speak in exposition. It's that they don't give them enough. I feel like the show is thinking that that we already know these characters, we know what their outcome is. We're not gonna put enough like too much time into their character because everybody knows who they are. Which this is what I feel like that they're doing. Because with Aang and Katara, they're a little flat. It's weird because yes, Aang is supposed to be this pacifist, peacekeeping, loving kid. He does the loving kid part. It's just that the goofiness, the
isn't there? Yeah,
the little sprinkle of like fun
yeah,
is not there. Especially with Katara, there's no moments where they're like poking fun at each other and then getting a reaction. Kind of like with Iroh and Zuko, where like they come in and they're like, "Oh, we have to breach the northern water tribe," and it's like, and Iroh goes, "So you don't have a plan?" And it's like, "I'm thinking about it." Like that shit made me laugh, and I'm like, why can't Aang and the gang have that other than Sokka?
right.
You know, like
Like,
Sokka's the only one who's getting these lines, and the actor for Sokka, I would say, he's doing great.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, but same with Suki. Like people were going crazy about that actress, and I'm like, yeah, she's very pretty. Um, but yeah, I would say Aang and Katara for season 2. You guys are doing great. All I gotta say is you guys gotta have to add a little bit more zhuzh on Katara and Aang
yeah,
because they are the main characters. Like make them funny, make them have a little bit of a banter back and forth. You know, I would like that because to me, Katara is typical Mary Sue who could fight a bit, and Aang is just typical um, John Doe good guy.
yeah. You're like, yeah, I saw some complaints that Aang isn't as friendly, not friendly, but like goofy as he was in the show. And like watching the show, I'm like, you're not wrong. He's not like floating on like a ball of wind, just having fun. Still like, I'm just enjoying being 12, while having the expectation of being the Avatar. Like he has to balance it out somehow. Here he's just like, I am so stressed with being the Avatar. Help me, God. Why?
Which is fine. Again, it's just make them joke a bit, make them have a back and forth. I'm not saying the show lacks that. I'm saying that it's not on the right characters.
Yeah,
Or some characters don't have it enough. Because I love the banter between Zuko and Uncle Iroh. I love the banter that Sokka has with any other character. Uh, like even the actor for Jet, he's fine and it looks like Fujikaze. Uh, but like, yeah, it's just I get the character, but they're a tad bit dry.
yeah. Like maybe for season 2, hopefully they improve that.
Yeah,
Otherwise, we might be in trouble. Who knows? But so far, I'm liking this adaptation. Like I really had a good time watching this, and like it adds a bit more since it's live action. Again, we mentioned like the the gruesomeness of like being set on fire and boiling alive to like being drowned, and you see the bodies. You're like, I don't remember that from the show, dog. Really don't, and that's for a good reason. Also, like the
yeah,
fact that they're introducing lightning bending early with Azula. I always like lightning bending because it feels like literally a lightning strike. It's not like Star Wars where it's like magic. It literally feels like lightning hit you twice and you're dead. You're like, oh fuck.
yeah. Because I love the build up to it. You have to like course it through your stomach, out the finger.
Yeah,
But if you go through the heart, like
you'll kill
it'll
yourself.
legit kill you.
Yeah. I'm very curious how they'll handle Zuko's arc because it feels, I don't know why, it feels a bit rushed when after Zhao's like, oh, your mission's for nothing, and you can tell that Zuko's like, I have nothing to live for. Maybe I'm on the wrong path. Huh. You're like,
Yeah.
that feels a bit rushed. The show, it took a while for Zuko to recognize the error of his ways. But who knows for season 2? I hope there's a season 2. I hope Netflix is like, oh, people don't like it, that's the end. So you're like, you barely began, asshole.
Yeah, no, I would say I would gladly watch a season 2 of this. There is an audience for it. Trust me, Netflix, you're doing fine. As we said, just add a bit more spice on Aang and Katara, and other than that, like, keep at it. I really want to see that arc where Uncle Iroh's like getting jacked and like does pull-ups, you know, and then like he removes it, he's all like built.
Yeah.
I was like, man, where'd you get all that protein? But okay.
Right? I also like the small cameo of Cabbage Man where he can't finish the sentence of like, do you want my cat? And they're like, oh, hold up. How you want some cat? Man, I'm in a rush. And he's like, fuck. And then finally, Zuko's like, he burns it. He's like, my cabbage, yes.
No. It's like it's like Kirk in Star Trek. It was like, my cabbage, yeah. You know.
They knew they had it one chance. Like we had it right. Shit, they will crucify this if we get it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything to add for this adaptation?
Other than that, no, I'd say they're doing fine. Like, dial down on the cheesy lines, but have the characters have a little bit of fun. You know, I couldn't take Katara seriously, because, yeah, her screaming at a gigantic koi monster wasn't really working for me.
Right? You're like,
But,
I need a bit more, I don't know, bite to that dialogue. Like, I don't know why it wasn't selling me on that point of like the desperation of like, please, Aang, come back to us. You're just like,
it doesn't help because you would think that in this scene it'll be like her voice of reason makes Aang come back and become normal. No, it's not. It's it's Princess Yue sacrificing herself,
yeah,
and becoming, you know, the moon spirit. And I was like, so this entire scene with Katara is yelling her feelings for Aang and telling him to come back doesn't mean anything.
nope. You feel like the kaiju turns around and it's like, what? Like, oh, sorry, let me say that again.
It's the point where she like she's not even screaming anymore. She's just talking.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think he can hear you.
Right? But yeah, what would you rate Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I would give it a solid 6.5 out of 10. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. Like, it's above average. It's not bad. Okay, maybe a 7. I need to be a bit fair because I do like the story. Like, Zuko and his sacrifice for like this for these soldiers, and the soldiers realizing, oh shit, we're supposed to be indebted to him.
Yeah.
Because he actually saved our lives. Because the Fire Nation was supposed to like kill us off, and I like that. I love that story. Again, with Uncle Iroh and all that. What are the other parts? Mostly the highlight for me was like Zuko and Uncle Iroh.
Yeah.
Other than that, like Sokka's funny. Aang and Katara a little bit bland, but it's fine. The story so far is doing great. The bending and the martial arts is really good. I really like that. And yeah, so far I'm just enjoying the show. Is it like nicely paced? Yes. Is the story good? It's coming from the show, so yes.
Yeah.
Execution wise, it's a little bit iffy from here to there, but for sure they'll refine it as soon as like we get to like the second to third book.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll also give this a 7. I do like where this is going. I do like the acting. The characters for the most part are true to themselves, aside from like Aang and Katara. But again, we have a lot of ways to go until season 2 happens, and hopefully they can fix their mistakes here. I do like the effects. I do like the world. One thing you can tell about this adaptation is that 1, they done their research. 2, they care. They really care. I don't think anyone can dispute those 2 facts of like They don't care. They don't do the research. They're like, really? Is this the Airbender movie? Are you confused with this for the Airbender movie? Because that's where they're like, I don't think you did any research, or I don't think you care at all.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon for your own show, which is funny. But for here, I'm like, you know what? You did the best you could do, and it's a really good effort, in my opinion. Some of the best live-action adaptations, like the best for me still is One Piece, where I'm like, wow, that was a really good show. I don't expect that from Netflix. Again, this is only because we came off Cowboy Bebop, and we were like, an adaptation. Netflix, why do you do this?
I would say the best one that we got is Rurouni Kenshin. And by the way, Yu Yu Hakusho, like the... Sorry, I skipped a beat on that one. Yu Yu Hakusho, they have like, I think a movie or a series, a live action series, and it looks great.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, it's fine.
I was like, you were saying the name, I was like, are you choking on something? What's happening?
Yu Yu Hakusho is like a old 90s
anime. Okay.
Yeah. It was like everybody's favorite.
So, since we're wrapping up, would you like to see any other live action adaptations? I saw one comment on Twitter. They're like, I can't wait to see a live action adaptation of the animated Batman series. I'm like, you mean any Batman movie? What?
But, like something from Nickelodeon?
Any Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Disney.
No, not really. I got none in mind because, again, if it's really good, I'll just watch the fucking show.
Okay. Did you know that James Wan is doing Gargoyles? I like that show a lot as a kid. So
I love Gargoyles. It's just like James Wan hasn't had like the best track record.
I mean, was Aquaman really his fault? Or is it just the studio being like, can you make this movie about a dead universe where we'll interfere
That's
a lot?
true, but like the man had like Conjuring and like
Conjuring 2.
Conjuring 2.
Yeah, he has a thing with like not best sequels, you know. But maybe the first season will be good. Who knows?
Let's see. Let's just see.
But yeah, if you like to see more of us here on YouTube, please don't forget to like our video, subscribe to the channel, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. For this has been our video on Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you want to find us individually, did I do our Spotify stuff? Not yet. Not yet. Sorry, what a week does to me, man. But yeah, if you want to find more of us anywhere else, we're on TikTok and Spotify. TikTok to see our best and funniest moments, and our reactions to trailers, and Spotify to hear us on the go. Individually, I am EnsWolf on Letterboxd and Zoe.Moses on TikTok. Where can I find you?
Oh, you can find me at JohnJM_ on Instagram. It is Mario.
And until the next video, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.